Yeah, I wonder if I should show you what I just showed on my other live stream. Um, yeah, in case you don't know, the very first step in producing animal products is, well, they call it artificial insemination, but you really need to take a minute and do a search of artificial insemination of cows, pigs, chickens, fish, bees. See how they collect the semen for that so-called artificial insemination process. See how they collect the semen from the male animals. They literally masturbate them until they ejaculate. That is. And then they force that semen into unconsenting female animals to force them to reproduce so that you can eat their babies and consume their babies' food in the case of dairy. Again, that is, I'm not even exaggerating. If the same things being done to animals to produce animal products were being done to humans, they would in fact be crimes of kidnapping and murder. Yeah, I am changing people's minds. Here is a video that I just posted that has like 15,000 views already. And one of the many comments, oh my God, I'm not vegan, but I love animals. Maybe it's time to look at it. Yep. So this person is now considering going vegan after seeing one of my videos. So see, vegans, we need to all be speaking up for these animals. It's not good enough just to be vegan. You know what's happening to these animals. So you need to make other people aware. Like, you know, it's great if you're posting vegan recipes, giving people ideas of what to eat. But you should be mentioning why they need to be, you know, making those vegan meals. Not to say, hey, there's a vegan meal, look at this, it's so tasty. Why do they need to be making vegan meals and not meals made from animal flesh or animal secretions? A lot of people have no idea all of the awful things that are happening to animals in order to produce animal products. Most people are completely unaware that this process, in fact, involves sexually abusing animals. And, you know, when people hear me say that, you know, they think I'm talking crazy. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? Yeah, I know it sounds crazy because it is crazy, but it's true. It is absolutely crazy what they're doing to these animals. They call it artificial insemination, but if you look up how they collect the semen from the animals, you'll see that it's sexual abuse and it's bestiality. They literally masturbate the animals until they ejaculate, steal their semen, force it into the females. If you were to force semen into an unconsenting woman, I seriously doubt you would call that artificial insemination. That would be a crime of... So it's time to go vegan. It is time to go vegan and stop making excuses. Yeah, you need to go vegan. You need to go vegan. Otherwise, you're paying people to abuse animals. I'm going on the carnivore diet next week. Well, if you meant to say carnivore diet, guess what? You're going to be at like a 33% increased risk of premature death from heart attack. So, good for you. Eat up. Yeah, there is so much denial. Denial is a defense mechanism people use when they do not want to face reality because it's just too much for them to even handle. Like, imagine funding the sexual abuse of animals for decades, not knowing. And then suddenly, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, and then bam, you find out the truth that you've been supporting the sexual abuse of animals all along for every single non-vegan product you were consuming throughout your entire life. We're literally paying people to sexually abuse animals. Something people don't want to accept. So they want to make it like vegans are crazy. And these people actually think that they have to eat animal flesh and animal secretions to be healthy. Like, I still get, like, almost every day, well, where do you get your protein from? It's sad in 2022 when you literally have a device in your hand, like 24/7, like you never take a minute to like look up, like, why are people vegan? Like, what is this thing about people going vegan? Why is it important to be vegan? And then right there, you'd find a wealth of information. How animals are being abused, how it's completely unnecessary to consume animal products, and in fact, actually unhealthy. The more meat, dairy, and egg products you consume, the more risk you have of heart disease, kidney disease, cancer, diabetes, cerebrovascular disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, causing another pandemic. Why do I suggest for vegetarians to try eating more vegan? Well, I wouldn't suggest that they try eating more vegan. I suggest that you only eat vegan products. Because if it's not vegan, it is in fact animal abuse. And it's completely unnecessary for humans to consume any type of animal product. So for you to be funding an industry that abuses animals in more ways than one, it's not justifiable. It's not moral. So you need to just stop and go vegan. And, I understand when you've been consuming animal products all your life, it might seem like, wow, like that almost seems like impossible. Like, well, what do I eat? I mean, I eat dead animals all day long. I mean, I don't know what else to eat because it's all I eat is dead animals. And the things that come out of a bird's shit encrusted ass vagina or a cow's shit encrusted udder. But the easiest thing to do is just start looking up recipes. And you can do that right here on TikTok in the search box. Put vegan recipes in the search box right here on TikTok. You will come across endless vegan recipes. Hundreds of TikTokers who post vegan recipes. Give some of those people a follow. You will see that there are so many very easy and very delicious vegan meals. Just about anything and everything can be veganized. And the vegan versions even taste better in a lot of cases. Like, I think the plant-based chicken tastes better. Imagine that. The plant-based chicken tastes better than the chicken that actually marinated in a shit-filled shed for 6 weeks. Imagine that. Let me show you. These chickens are bred to grow so large and so fast that many of them, and we're talking like right now at this very moment, 20 billion chickens being raised like this in overcrowded, shit-filled sheds, forced to live in these sheds for 6 weeks. These sheds are not clean during that whole 6-week period. And these birds are bred to grow so large and so fast that a lot of them become crippled. Like this bird here, can't even get up. Can't get up to get food, can't get up to get water. This bird will just lay there and die a slow death. Or in the morning, a worker will come through and wring her neck and throw her in the garbage. Because it would eat into the farmer's profits to hire a vet to come and treat this bird or to euthanize this bird. And it's completely legal for the workers to just break their necks and throw them in the trash. Completely legal for the workers that are not growing quick enough or big enough to be profitable for meat and just slam them on the floor and kill them and throw them in the trash. And this is how your pork lives. Yeah. See, it's not that vegans don't like eating bacon. It's not that vegans don't like eating pork chops. It's that vegans don't like seeing animals being abused. This is why I do not eat animal products. Because I don't think animals deserve to be abused and killed for my food preferences. Especially when I can eat plant-based foods that are so much more nutritious, just as tasty, if not more tasty, than animal flesh that literally comes from an animal that marinated in a shit-filled shed for 6 months. These pigs are in these sheds for 6 months. These animals are treated like shit. They are forced to live in shit. And then you spend a few minutes feasting on their flesh, and you literally turn these animals into shit. So don't call yourself an animal lover if you're not vegan. Don't call yourself a nature lover if you're not vegan, because not only are you having these pigs and cows and chickens For instance, wild American horses are rounded up by the thousands each and every year because these horses compete with livestock like cattle for grazing land. So the government, with our tax dollars, rounds up these horses by the thousands each and every year so that cattle ranchers can maximize their profits. And what happens to these horses is they are sent to a government holding facility, and eventually they are auctioned off. And who buys them? Mostly kill buyers. They buy them cheap at auction, send them into Canada, send them into Mexico, where they are slaughtered for horse meat. That's what they're doing with our wild American horses. So yeah, don't call yourself an animal lover. Don't call yourself a nature lover. In California, the National Park Service, with taxpayer dollars, is rounding or has put a fence around parklands, around the food resources and the water resources that wild animals like these Tule elk need to survive. Why would the National Park Service put up a fence on park lands to keep wild animals from gaining access to the foraging land and the water resources these wild animals need to survive? Why would they do that? So that cattle ranchers and dairy farmers can have their livestock graze those lands without competition. So those dairy cows and cattle have full access to the foraging land and the water resources themselves, while these Tule elk literally starve to death and die of dehydration. Again, do not call yourself a nature lover if you're not vegan. Do not call yourself an animal lover, especially. Do not call yourself an animal lover if you are not vegan, because you are literally paying people to brutalize and kill animals just for a food preference. That's all you're doing it for. You're not doing this out of any need. You have no need, you have no nutritional need to consume dead animals or the things that come out of a cow's shit-encrusted udder or a chicken's shit-encrusted ass vagina. Yeah, so I would just recommend, I can't force you to be vegan. I could force you to be vegan. I absolutely would force you to stop hurting animals. But I can't. So the only thing I could do is just, suggest that, you start looking up some vegan recipes. That would be the easiest way to start and transition into being vegan. Just write on this app, in the search box, put vegan recipes. You will come across endless vegan recipes. Hundreds of TikTokers who post vegan recipes. If you don't like to cook, go to happycow.net. Happycow.net, put in your city, you will find vegan and vegan-friendly restaurants in any city. And I would recommend sticking to as close to a whole foods, organic, plant-based diet as possible. But yeah, if you like junk food, there's tons and tons of vegan junk food that is so delicious. And again, that's not going to be the healthiest foods to be choosing from. But, fried mushrooms, there's all kinds of ways you can veganize fried chicken. And one way is to use oyster mushrooms. I don't even like mushrooms, but the vegan fried chicken made with oyster mushrooms is out of this world. Amazing. Yeah, so even though nothing fried is ever going to be healthy for you, you're better off eating fried mushrooms than a fried dead animal. But yeah, a whole foods plant-based diet filled with fruits, especially organic fruits, vegetables, beans, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, that is by far the best diet. And there's all kinds of ways. There's a organic market that I go to, and they make raw vegan meals, from whole plant-based ingredients. And I'm telling you, some of these raw vegan meals, which, at first when I was raw vegan, I'm doesn't really sound very appetizing to me at all. But some of these raw vegan meals are so freaking delicious. I wish I can eat this stuff every day. And when I eat the raw vegan meals, I always feel energized. Typically when I'm eating a hot meal, after I'm done eating, I just want to take a nap. But when I eat raw vegan meals, I feel energized. So yeah, like I said, stick to as close as a whole foods plant-based diet as possible and try to incorporate some raw vegan meals into your diet. Oh, how do I feel about insects? Well, let me tell you. I dug up my entire front and backyard and turned it into a wildlife habitat certified by the National Wildlife Federation. I do not use pesticides. I go insane when I see people spraying chemicals. I do. It just makes me mad. This shit's toxic. And if you want to talk about bees, that's one of the reasons why you need to stay away from genetically modified fucking foods. That's what's killing the bees and the butterflies. So yeah, I do care about insects. I live in South Florida, and yeah, in the raining season, you will find a cockroach or two here and there. I just put them in a little container and put them outside. I won't even kill a cockroach. Okay, well, mosquitoes, for one thing, now I understand they're mosquitoes, okay? They can't help that they're mosquitoes, but they are parasites and they spread diseases. Okay, so that's a little bit different when somebody is literally feasting on your blood and potentially giving you a freaking disease. So, yeah, what do you want to do? You want to become a mosquito rights advocate? Go for it. Go for it. But you think you should be a little bit more concerned about these animals that are not parasites. These animals who are literally minding their own business, not hurting anybody. Not these little parasites that are literally spreading diseases. I mean, how many people die of malaria and other kinds of diseases spread by these parasites that you suddenly care about? Because I'm talking about veganism and caring about bees and butterflies. Now all of a sudden you want to bring parasites into the equation. Yeah, if you want to avoid, and I really don't, like, if it's just one fucking mosquito, yeah, I might shoo it away if it's just one. But yeah, if I'm outside doing yard work and I'm literally got like 50 fucking mosquitoes on me, yeah, I might not be so nice to a parasite that's literally feasting on my blood and potentially giving me a disease. So it's just bizarre that you want to like suddenly become a mosquito rights advocate, but you don't want to become an animal rights advocate for the animals that are not parasites. Yeah, I mean, I could spray chemicals, but no, I wouldn't want to do that. Um, so if we all go vegan, how do we support, feed our animals? Well, in case you don't know, one of the oldest dogs who ever lived was fed a plant-based diet, and that dog lived to be 25 years old, and that dog actually held the world's record for the oldest living dog for a period of time. He no longer holds the record now, but he did for a period of time. He was fed a plant-based diet and lived to be 25 years old. There are thousands of cats right now being fed a plant-based diet, and they are doing just as well as any other cats because the vegan cat food is supplemented with all of the same supplements that are in the regular store-bought cat food. Like taurine, that nutrient that the cats absolutely need or they can go blind. Yeah, you can only get that naturally from meat, but the supplement taurine is synthetic. And they do look at, if you have a cat and you have cat food in your house, just look at the ingredients. Either if it's soft food or hard food, just look at the ingredients. You'll see that it's supplement. I guarantee that cat food is supplemented with taurine. That is synthetic taurine and it's vegan. And it's the same taurine that they use to supplement the vegan cat food. So yeah, there's no problem. But first of all, I would say get you yourself absolutely you do not need to consume animal products at all. So at least start with yourself, okay? You know, and if you do have a cat, I wouldn't recommend switching them automatically to a vegan diet. I would just, get some vegan cat food, put it down, see if they like it, and then gradually just start weaning them off of the regular cat food. But always make sure, especially, I would, within the first like 3 or 4 or 5 months, make sure you get your cat a checkup. If you put your cat on a vegan diet, just make sure you get them a checkup. And then just make sure, like with any cat, you're getting them a regular checkup every year. And if you have a male cat, it doesn't matter what type of diet you're feeding your cat. If you have a male cat especially, you need to be keeping an eye on their litter box habit, because there are male cats that can get urinary blockages. That can be very deadly, and that can come up all of a sudden, and it can become fatal very quickly. But it doesn't really matter if your cat is being fed a plant-based diet or not. It's just something you have to look out for. Cats are not food. Animals are not food. Cats do not have to eat meat. They do not have to eat meat. Just look at this study. There is a study that's been done on cats who are being fed a plant-based diet. And they're doing just as well as any other cats. Because again, the vegan cat food is supplemented with all the nutrients. Now in nature, a cat couldn't be vegan. In nature. No, not naturally. But because we're able to synthesize like nutrients, yeah, we can do that in a civilized society. Well, it's not natural. It's not natural what we're doing. This is not natural. This is not natural. Keeping animals in an overcrowded, shit-filled shed for 6 months in such deplorable conditions, they have to be given antibiotics just to keep them alive long enough to make it to the slaughterhouse. This is not natural. If you were a true meat eater, you would have the urge to kill animals when you get hungry. You would be able to go out in the wild and just pounce on a rabbit and just tear it apart with your sharp claws and your sharp teeth. But see, you're not a true meat eater, and this is not natural. It's not natural. And heart disease is the leading cause of death around the globe. And who has the lowest cases of heart disease? Vegans. Who has the lowest cases of cancer? Vegans. And you want to see something? It's not a natural thing for dairy cows to produce milk for humans. Dairy cows do not automatically produce milk. Dairy cows are forcibly impregnated. In other words, they have semen forced into their vaginas, and they don't give consent to that. And that is, it's not natural. So you want to talk about natural. Nothing natural is happening in the animal agriculture industry. It's not natural for you to be able to go into a man-made store and buy products that come from a man-made hellhole. Not natural for you to consume the baby food of a baby cow. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows, not humans. Cows produce milk because they're mothers, not because they're dairy cows. They're forcibly impregnated. They have semen forced into their vaginas. That's not right. And it's not being done because they're saying, hey, I want to have a baby. I'm having trouble having a baby. Can you give me a hand? No. This is being done for the sinister purpose to get them to start producing milk. So that milk can be stolen and sold to you. And then you're like, oh, but this is all natural. It's all normal. And it's even necessary. No, it's not necessary. No, it's not natural. No, it's not normal. And in case you don't know, dairy products are carcinogenic. The casein in dairy is carcinogenic. Even my own supervisor was instructed by her doctor to not consume dairy products because she has a family history of breast cancer, and consuming dairy products increases the risk of breast cancer. So yeah, you should check this out. If you go to Kinder World Calf Slaughter, you can pull this video. This is a screenshot of an undercover video taken at a slaughterhouse where they're slaughtering the male calves stolen from the dairy cows off of dairy farms. So look up Kinder World Calf Slaughter and you will see this 2-minute video. It's only 2 minutes. I dare you to watch it. When I saw this video, I was so enraged that the very next day I went to Office Depot and had a sign made to take to a street corner during rush hour to let the people know in my town what is happening to these little baby animals for them to be able to consume dairy products. Just completely outrageous. But I'm going to sign off in a couple minutes. So let me flip this around. Let me flip this around for a second. Take off the effect. Not that. Okay. Well, so let me zoom it in. Okay, so here it is. Kinder World Calf Slaughter. This is what happens as a consumer. You need to know. This is what happens so that you can consume dairy products. This is a slaughterhouse where they are slaughtering the male calves taken from the dairy cows off at dairy farms. These are baby animals. Look at how they whip these little babies around. You actually think these people care for animals that work in a slaughterhouse? No, a lot of these people that work in slaughterhouses because they get off abusing animals. This is a way for them to abuse animals and actually get paid for it and not get in trouble for it. These are baby animals. They should be with their mothers. But because humans want to put cream in their coffee and milk in their cereal and eat a bowl of ice cream and eat a cheese pizza, this is why this is happening. And guess what? There are vegan alternatives to everything, especially dairy products. So there's no need for this to be happening at all. You need to go vegan. You need to go vegan because if you're not vegan, you are in fact funding some of the most atrocious acts of animal cruelty taking place. And this is in the dairy industry. These are male calves taken off of their mothers. And look at these little babies killed so you can consume their baby food. And then you're calling me crazy because I don't support this. This is insanity. Yeah, do I look like I'm losing my hair? Do I look like I'm weak? No, I've never been healthier since going vegan. So you're literally spreading lies. I'm literally just here stating facts about an industry that most people support because most people don't know what's going on. Most people don't know this is what's happening to animals for them and to be able to consume dairy products. So you absolutely need to know the truth. Dairy cows produce milk because they're mothers, not because they're dairy cows. As soon as they give birth, their babies are stolen from them. If those babies are boys like these, they're slaughtered for veal typically. This is happening because you want their baby food. You want their baby food. So they're killing these baby animals. And look how they whip these little babies around. You know, they are literally slaughtering thousands and thousands and thousands of baby animals at this slaughterhouse right here every day, thousands and thousands. And when these little babies try to escape, they're terrified. These are baby animals. They should be with their mothers, not in a motherfucking slaughterhouse. Because you refuse to consume the plant-based milk, the plant-based ice cream, the plant-based pizza. This is why this is happening. If you're not vegan, this is why this is happening. Dairy cows have to be pregnant in order for them to start lactating. As soon as they give birth, their babies are stolen, and those boys are all killed. And if you think the slaughterhouses that kill these animals treat these animals with compassion, you're out of your fucking mind. And this is just one of endless undercover investigations proving that these workers abuse these animals. And if you think slashing someone's throat is not abusive, you're delusional. Oh, I don't like to see them whipping the little baby animals around. That shouldn't be allowed. But, oh, it's okay to slit their fucking throat. Okay, that makes sense. It's all abuse. If it's not vegan, it is animal abuse. Wake up, go vegan, stop making excuses. This is happening for every single non-vegan product you eat. So all day long, you're basing your whole existence off of torturing and killing innocent animals. Go vegan. Look up vegan recipes. Go to happycow.net. Put in your city. You'll find vegan and vegan-friendly restaurants in any city. This does not need to happen. This should not be happening. This is the worst atrocity in history, because not only just by the mere numbers of literally tens of billions of animals ceaselessly being slaughtered for their flesh and secretions, because all egg-laying hens, all dairy cows end up in a slaughterhouse when they can no longer produce enough eggs to be profitable. Egg-laying hens are slaughtered when they can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable. Dairy cows are slaughtered. And all the male calves born on those dairy farms are sent to a slaughterhouse. And this right here is a slaughterhouse where they are slaughtering the male calves that have been taken off the dairy cows, off the dairy farms. And if you think these people in these slaughterhouses treat these animals nicely before they slit their throats and skin them and dice them up, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy. And these people literally have to slaughter thousands of animals every day. And these animals don't want to die. So you can see these little babies trying to escape, trying to turn around, trying to run the fuck out of these slaughterhouses. They don't want to die, but they're forced forward to the kill floor. And these workers get frustrated. They have to deal with these animals struggling to break free all day long. And so they pick them up and they start whipping them around. And if you think this is just an isolated incident, just look it up. You will find endless undercover videos from all over the entire planet where shit like this is happening in slaughterhouses. Pigs still alive and screaming inside of the scalding tanks that remove their hairs on their skin. Chickens still alive and screaming inside the scalding tanks that defeather them. If you are not vegan, you are in fact funding some of the most atrocious acts of animal abuse. And animal agriculture is destroying this planet, in case you don't know. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, ocean plastics, fisheries depletion, pandemics, world hunger, and climate change. Look it up if you think I'm lying. Look it up if you think I'm exaggerating. And this is not funny. I hope out of the 349 people that are watching this live stream, these ignorant comments from these people literally mocking the suffering of these animals motivates you not just to become vegan right at this very moment, but it also motivates you to become a vegan activist and do a better job at advocating for these animals than me. I'm not here for any other reason other than to expose the truth to consumers so that consumers can make educated choices. Because there was a time when I used to consume dairy products. There was a time when I used to consume eggs and meat and other animal products. And it was only because I didn't know that these things were happening. Now that I know these things are happening, I'm vegan. And not only that, I'm going to educate people so they know better. I wish somebody would have given me this information sooner so that I could have went vegan sooner. I didn't go vegan until I was 42 years old. 42. Why did it take me 42 years to learn what was happening to these animals? Products that I was consuming my entire life. They don't want you to know because they know that good, decent people would not ever be consuming these products if they knew that these animals were being put through this hell. If they knew that this was happening so they can consume dairy products, that little male calves are slaughtered like this. These are babies. They should be with their mothers, not in a fucking slaughterhouse. Being hacked to pieces so that you could put cream in your coffee and milk in your cereal and eat a bowl of ice cream and a piece of pizza. When you can eat vegan pizza, you can eat vegan ice cream, you can eat vegan milk. No reason to be supporting any of this stuff. And again, I hope all of these nasty anti-vegan comments motivate some of these 206 people here right now to go vegan and not only become a vegan, but become a vegan activist. Because you know what? It was these nasty comments that motivated me to become a vegan activist. Because when I first went vegan, I was not even thinking about becoming a vegan activist. It was comments like these nasty comments here of people. You know, it's bad enough that you literally pay people to torture and kill animals, but now you're literally mocking the abuse, thinking this is a fucking joke when this is the worst atrocity in history. You have the same mentality as Hitler.